raise that flag.
We're so glad that all of you were able to join us today to support the flag raising to commemorate breast cancer awareness. Today's flag was made by Sue Cornell, who's actually in attendance today. She's one of our amazing Kadlec auxilians, so yes, thank you, Sue. Today you are going to hear from Ann Simmons-Dumo, our diagnostic imaging manager, Dr. John Drosch, a Kadlec surgeon and part of our breast care team, and Madison Rosenbaum Evangelista, who is a breast cancer patient. So first up is Ann.
Today is really important for us. I would like to start first by announcing or introducing you to a couple of my friends, actually three, Melinda and Deb and Bertha. So these three ladies have a combined history with Kadlec of about 60 years. So they've each been working at Kadlec for about 20 years. And they are, they're not only co-workers of mine, but they're also my friends. And, oh gosh, I got a little sad there for a second. And I didn't expect that. I've known these ladies for a really long time, and they're not only employees here, but they're also breast cancer survivors. So just to give you just a little background, Bertha is the breast imaging supervisor. Deb works for APW, and she does ultrasound there for them. And Melinda works for the hospital in ultrasound. So these ladies, they want to just let you guys know they don't really want to talk on camera, so I'm talking for them. They just wanted you to know how blessed they were to be able to have an imaging center right here at Kadlec where they could go when they found their breast lumps and found their cancers. So they were able to get diagnosed here, right here across the street, very quickly, and move on to their treatment, which we're also so grateful for. Because of that treatment, we still get them here with us on the daily. So yeah, we're very, very blessed. And I just kind of wanted to say thank you to the foundation, to the Breast Imaging Center, and all the physicians, the providers, everybody that had a hand in helping these ladies and all of our patients. Behind me, you'll see all of our breast imagers. They do ultrasound. They help in all different kinds of ways. They do the mammograms. They check the orders as they come in. So we have a really large group, and they are such caring, compassionate people, and they're there for you. So if you come in our doors, you're going to be greeted with all of these, well, maybe not all on the same day, I hope. You'll be greeted by these ladies, and we're just happy to serve you, and that's why we're here. And I just wanted to give you a little personal story alongside of that also. So we're just really grateful, and we're excited for this flag raising, and we just wanted to say thank you to everyone that came out to support us.
How are you? Well, thank you for having me here today. My name is John Drosch. I'm one of the breast surgeons that works at Kadlec, and I've been here for almost 17 years now. And it's certainly been an honor and a humbling privilege to work with not only this great team, but also our patients who are going through some of the most difficult and trying times of their lives. So it's interesting, when I look at this flag that we're about ready to raise, it's fascinating just how far we've come since really the early 1950s. And I know some of you may not remember that those times existed, but they did. But in the 1950s, there were two women, Fanny Rosenau and Teresa Lasser. And these two women were New York socialites, and both had had very aggressive and radical surgery. So they called the New York Times because they were interested in starting a support program for women. And when they called the New York Times said, "Sorry, ladies, we can't use the word breast, and we can't say anything about cancer. How about you just put together a nice group, chest wall diseases for women?" Well, Fanny would not be stopped. And her efforts now have led us to a worldwide support group called Reach for Recovery for Women. So we have come a long way. Just recently, it was published that mortality from breast cancer has gone down significantly. Between 1989 and I think 2022, breast cancer mortality has gone down by 43%, which is incredible, which equates to about 460,000 women. And we attribute that primarily to the fact of, hardworking people like this, to early screening, raising awareness like we're doing today, and also our medical therapeutics. But it's still, our work is not over. This flag not only goes up to support those that have gone before us, who have had breast cancer, to the families that have supported them, to the families that have grieved with them, but also to those patients that we've lost. So our work is not done. We still lose about 45,000 women a year to breast cancer. And we also know there's still many disparities in our communities. Those that are the most marginalized and poor still have difficult access to breast cancer management. We know that black women still have a 40% greater mortality than their white counterparts. And even though that the incidence of breast cancer is less in those groups. So we still have work to be done to those that are most marginalized and most underserved. But today is certainly a day of celebration for all the efforts that all these wonderful people do, to our patients, and to know that the fight still goes on and doesn't stop today. Thank you.
All right, good morning. My name is Madison, and I have stage 3 breast cancer. It's a hard thing for me to say, but it's easier than keeping it to myself. On Friday, February 11th of this year, I discovered a lump in my right breast when I was at work. 10 days later, after an ultrasound, a mammogram, and a biopsy, I got the call on February 21st that I had breast cancer. It was a day that changed my life forever. After that day, everything moved really quickly and in a blur. I was in and out of appointments and meeting with my treatment team and trying to come to terms with what was happening in my body. For someone who likes to be in control, I had never felt more out of control. On March 17th, I started chemo. 21 weeks later, on August 4th, I celebrated my last chemo and got to ring the bell. And on September 15th, just a few weeks ago, I had my double mastectomy. Soon, I'm going to be beginning my 28 rounds of daily radiation. Time has moved so quickly, yet there's days that I struggle to feel like I was going to survive for minutes at a time. And some days really do still feel like that. But I'm here, and that's something I'm really extremely grateful for, and I don't take for granted. Even when cancer feels probable, it's still very possible. Cancer doesn't discriminate. I was 29, 4 months away from turning 30 when I received my diagnosis and learned my family's history with breast, ovarian, and prostate cancers. Because of my diagnosis, I learned I had the BRCA1 mutation, a mutation responsible for an increased risk of these particular cancers. I'm one of 4 in my family who currently has cancer, and I'm the youngest in my family currently going through active treatment. It's been my mission to get as many of my relatives tested and start a conversation with others on how they can be proactive with their health. It's a personal choice for me to share my journey, but sharing it makes cancer feel almost purposeful. If I can convince any of my friends, family, or even strangers to self-examine on a regular basis, self-advocate always, and prioritize their health over their busy schedules, then this would have meant something. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, in honor of the thousands of individuals who will be diagnosed this year, for those fighting and for those we have lost, this is my ask. Take the time to start a conversation with your loved ones about your family's history with cancer. Take time to do a self-examination. And if you're in a position to do so, support patients locally by donating or getting involved with the Kadlec Foundation or the Tri-Cities Cancer Center. Thank you.